G'day, fight fans. Welcome back to the MMA Husky Hustler. This weekend, we're heading to the beautiful city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, for UFC Fight Night Oliveira versus Gamrot. So grab your caipirinhas and let's break down the card. Fight by fight, method, predictions, and a little husky wisdom along the way. First up, Charles de Bronx Oliveira. This guy is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu wizard. With crazy knockout arsenal, he's got the most submission wins in UFC history, and fighting in Brazil is a huge bonus. He's got the crowd behind him, feeding his momentum. Now, Marquise Gamrot. This Polish dynamite is a grappling machine with excellent wrestling and cardio. He's tough, scrappy, and keeps a relentless pace. He can hang in striking exchanges, but his bread and butter is pressure and takedowns, wearing opponents down over time. Whether it's Oliveira hunting history or Gamrot grinding out every second in the cage, this fight promises fireworks, sweat, and maybe even a surprise or two. Keep your eyes glued because in MMA, anything can happen. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more fight picks and Husky-approved chaos. Until next time, keep your paws up and stay husky.
And I like what I like. I like it when I like it.
Hot girls where I'm from, we don't look like models. 10 lines, big curves, and the energy glows. You'll be falling in love with the girl from Rio. Let me tell you about a different Rio. The one I'm from, but not the one that you know. The one.
Kicking off the card in the bantamweight division, we have Saimon Oliveira taking on Luan Lacerda. Oliveira is pure pressure and he loves to push forward and throw big combinations and make the fight chaotic. When he's on, he mixes his striking, grappling well, throwing looping shots just to close distance, then chaining into takedowns or body locks. He wins by making it ugly. The more exchanges, the better for him. If he can drag his opponent against the cage and grind with short shots and clinch work, he'll break the rhythm and steal rounds through sheer output and aggression. He'll win by keeping the pace high, bullying his opponent into the fence and mixing in those takedowns and winning a gritty decision. Lacerda is smooth and methodical. He's a slick grappler, very confident off his back, but he's best when he's also the one initiating on the feet. He's patient, picks his moments, and doesn't get dragged into chaos easily. If he can keep the fight technical, use his kicks, and eventually find a way to find the mat on his terms, he'll wrap something up fast. He'll win by staying composed early, slowing down his opponent with kicks and counters, and finding a submission when things hit the ground, likely off a scramble or a transition. Oliveira's pace is dangerous, but it often leaves openings. Lacerda's calm, opportunistic style is tailor-made to capitalize on that. One mistake in a scramble or a rush takedown, and he can snatch a neck or an arm. Give me Luan Lacerda by submission.
Eu já lavei o meu carro, regulei o som, já tá tudo preparado.
In the women's strawweight division, we have Julia Polastri versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Julia fights with confidence and volume. She's sharp in the pocket, she throws tight combinations, and she mixes in kicks and doesn't back off easily. What makes her dangerous is that she keeps a steady rhythm. She doesn't need to finish to dominate a round. If she can get into her flow and keep the pressure on, she'll make Karolina look a step behind. She wins by walking Karolina down, outworking her in the exchanges, and landing the cleaner, heavier shots. A decision win built on pace, precision, and control. Karolina's the definition of grit and experience. She's not the most powerful striker, but she's incredibly tough, has a great chin, and thrives in close-range exchanges. Her clinch work, knees, and short punches can wear opponents down, especially if they let her dictate the tempo. If she can survive Julia's early sharpness and turn it into a gritty veteran-style fight, she can edge it late. By dragging Julia into a brawl, pressing her against the cage, and using her experience to steal the later rounds for a decision. Karolina's durability keeps her in it, but Julia's speed, accuracy, and consistent output should win her the rounds. She's fresher, more dynamic at this point in her career, and she'll likely do enough to stay ahead in the exchanges. Give me Julia by decision.
Há 3 dias, abandonada, ela perdeu o namorado. Soltaram a fera, o coração.
In the flyweight division, we have Rocha taking on Stewart, Nicoll. Rocha wins when he brings that fast-paced, explosive jiu-jitsu game into play. He's confident on the mat, always chasing the finish, and once he gets a grip or finds a scramble, he transitions like lightning. On the feet, he'll throw just enough to close distance, but his real danger comes when he drags you into grappling realm. He needs to use his pressure and force a scramble and get a submission, probably a choke or armbar, once he finds his rhythm. Stewart's best chance is to keep it standing and make it gritty. He's got that toughness, grinding style that can frustrate slick grapplers, pushing forward, dirty boxing, and making every exchange physical. If he can stuff the early takedowns and wear Rocha down against the cage, he can slowly take over. He'll need to keep the fight on the feet, land heavier shots, and win by decision after outworking Rocha. Nicoll's tough, but Rocha's grappling is high level and doesn't need much of an opening to finish. Give me Rocha by submission. In the women's bantamweight division, we have Irina, Alekseeva versus Beatriz, Mesquita. Irina is known for her aggressive striking and grappling. She aims to pressure early, utilizing her reach advantage and striking volume. She'll look to close the distance quickly, land heavy shots, and possibly secure a takedown and control the pace. Beatriz is a dedicated jiu-jitsu champion with a perfect 5-0 MMA record and will look to implement her world-class grappling skills. She'll aim to avoid prolonged striking exchanges, close the distance to initiate clinches or takedowns, and work towards a submission finish. Beatrix's elite grappling and submission skills are expected to be the deciding factor in this matchup. While Irina's striking presents an initial challenge, Beatrix's ability to close the distance and bring the fight to the ground will likely lead her to secure a submission victory. Give me Beatriz Mesquita by submission. In the heavyweight division, we have Victor Petrino taking on Thomas Petersen. Victor is a versatile striker who likes to control distance with jabs, kicks, and movement. He can win by keeping Petersen at range, mixing in heavy counters, and looking for a knockout when Petersen overcommits. He also has submission skills, so if Petersen shoots or gets sloppy on the ground, Petrino could capitalize with a choke. Petersen is a heavy-handed fighter who thrives in close quarters. His win likely comes from pressuring Petrino, cutting off the cage, and landing power shots to disrupt Petrino's rhythm. If he can force a clinch or land on the inside, he can either break Petrino down with strikes or push a ground and pound finish. His goal is to turn the fight into a slugfest where his power dominates. Petrino can weather the early pressure, use his reach to create openings, and land a fight-ending shot once Petersen starts overcommitting. Petersen's best path is aggressive, but the aggression plays right into Petrino's counter-striking and timing game. Give me Victor Petrino by knockout. And in the flyweight division, we have Jafel Filho taking on Clayton Carpenter. Filho's path is about pressure and ground control. He's a grinder who loves to close the distance, clinch up, and drag opponents into deep waters on the mat. Once he gets his hands on you, he's constantly threatening chain wrestling, hunting submissions, and making you defend non-stop. He needs to turn it into a grappling heavy fight, controls the position, and locks up a submission once he gets Carpenter to the ground. Carpenter shines when he keeps the fight at his tempo, fast, clean, and technical. He's light on his feet, mixes his striking beautifully, and has that composure that lets him pick his shots without getting drawn into wild exchanges. If he can defend the early takedowns and keep space, his volume and accuracy start to add up. He'll need to use his movement and range and sharp striking to outpoint Filho, winning by a decision and frustrating him over 3 rounds. Filho's grappling threat is real, but Carpenter's footwork and fight IQ let him stay just a step ahead. He keeps it standing and outworks Filho from range. Give me Clayton Carpenter by decision.
Just don't show your shoulders when you get older.
In the featherweight division, we have Lucas Almeida taking on Michael Aswell. Almeida's path to victory is through chaos and power. He's at his best when he's walking his opponents down, trading heavy shots and forcing exchanges. His hands are dangerous, and when he gets into a rhythm, he can turn a fight on its head with one clean connection. If he gets Aswell to bite on his fate and stand still for a moment, it's trouble. He'll need to force a brawl, find that big moment, and win by knockout, usually early. Aswell's advantage is his composure and discipline. He's smooth, methodical, and doesn't get rattled by pressure. The longer the fight goes on, the more he settles in, picking his shots, managing distance, and letting the other guy burn out. If he keeps his jab active and doesn't stand still in the pocket, he can shut Almeida down. He'll want to use his movement, clean combinations, and ring IQ to win by decision, keeping it technical and frustrating Almeida all fight. Almeida's dangerous early, but Aswell's patience and consistency win out over time. He reads the chaos, stays calm, and racks up points round by round. Give me Michael Aswell by decision.
Words like violence break the silence, come crashing into my...
And in the featherweight division, we have Ricardo Ramos taking on Kaan Ofli. Ramos wins when he brings the fight into his world, fast, creative, and unpredictable. He's dangerous everywhere, flying knees, spinning elbows, slick submissions. He's a chaos merchant in the best way. He can get Ofli reacting instead of thinking. Ramos takes over. Once he mixes in grappling and rhythm changes, he can overwhelm Kaan with pure creativity. He finds something flashy in a scramble or hooks Ofli standing, then finishes by submission or TKO once the fight gets wild. Kaan's key to victory is control and patience. He's not trying to outcraze Ramos, he just wants to shut him down. That means a composed technical performance, solid defense, smart pressure, and punishing Ramos every time he overcommits. If Kaan can stay tight, stuff the flashy stuff, and keep his fundamentals sharp, he can slowly break Ramos down. He needs to keep it clean, grind him out, and win by decision after making Ramos miss and pay. Ramos can be wild, but when he's on, he's a problem for almost anyone. He just finds ways to make magic mid-fight. Give me Ricardo Ramos by submission. In the heavyweight division, we have Jhonata Diniz taking on Mario Pinto. Diniz thrives on power and early aggression. He wants to land a fight-changing shot, finish it quickly, but if Pinto weathers the early storm, Diniz's explosiveness can tamper as the fight goes on. He'll want to land heavy shots early and try for the KO, but risks overextending and getting caught later. Pinto wins by patience and timing. He survives the early power, keeps moving, frustrates Diniz, and waits for the perfect opening. In the later rounds, as Diniz slows down, Pinto capitalizes with clean, precise strikes to finish the fight. He'll want to stay disciplined, avoid big early shots, and land a fight-ending KO. Diniz starts strong, but Pinto's smart pacing and resilience pays off. He bides his time, reads the power, and lands that decisive strike late. Give me Mario Pinto by KO.
Tá. Ai, se eu te pego. Ai, se eu te pego, hein?
And in the featherweight division, we have Vicente Luque taking on Joel Alvarez. Vicente wins by pressuring Joel, closing distance, and either overwhelming him with inside strikes or forcing a submission on the ground. His best chance is to drag into chaotic exchanges where his aggression and grappling shine. Joel wins by controlling the fight at range early, then finding openings to land a fight-ending strike. He can counter Vicente's aggression, catch him overcommitting, and finish inside the distance, either with a clean knockout punch or precise striking combinations. While Vicente wants to brawl, Joel's timing and striking precision make him dangerous when Vicente overcommits. He can withstand early pressure, land a clean counter, and finish the fight before it reaches the judges. Give me Joel Alvarez by knockout.
Mushkina. Black of bees came to make it hot. We beat the fire start.
And in the co-main event of the bantamweight division, we have Davison Figueiredo taking on Montel Jackson. Figueiredo's path is through pressure and explosive power. He thrives when he's pushing the pace and landing heavy shots and forcing exchanges. If Jackson isn't careful early, Figueiredo can make it messy and threaten a finish. He'll want to try to overwhelm Jackson with volume and power, looking for a KO, but it depends on landing clean shots. Jackson wins by staying disciplined and using his footwork and timing. He'll use movement to frustrate Figueiredo, avoiding big shots and picking his openings carefully. Jackson excels at countering aggression and scoring consistently while staying composed. He'll want to control the range, land precise strikes, and win by decision through clean, calculated work over 3 rounds. Figueiredo is dangerous and explosive, but Jackson's composure, movement, and technical striking allow him to stay ahead on points. Give me Montel Jackson by decision.
Love with a girl that's from Rio.
I got it, it runs in my blood, oh. I love it.
And in the main event of the lightweight division, we have Charles Oliveira taking on Matisse Gamrot. Oliveira wins when he brings his world-class grappling and submission game into play. He's extremely dangerous on the ground, always hunting chokes and arm bars, and his ability to scramble and recover is unmatched. On the feet, he mixes unorthodox striking with his grappling setups. He'll want to force a takedown or capitalize on a scramble, finishing by a submission, likely in the first or second round. Gamrot's path to victory is technical striking and wrestling control. He's precise, patient, and thrives when he can dictate the pace, mixing in clean striking from top control if the fight hits the mat. He can neutralize Oliveira's dangerous submissions by keeping position tight and forcing Oliveira to fight standing. He outwork Oliveira, control the pace, and wins by decision through constant smart striking and wrestling. Oliveira is extremely dangerous anywhere the fight goes, but Gamrot's composure and ability to manage distance make him tough to finish. Give me Charles Oliveira by submission.